Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today we're talking about two major topics with outerwear and jackets: how to make a statement with them, as well as how to organize limited space with coats and jackets. So if you've ever wanted to make yourself bold and just stand out with your jackets, or if you have a tight space like I do and you just want to optimize storage, this is the spot for you. So let's get started. Hey guys, if you think my fur baby is just the cutest thing, let me know in the comments. I am obsessed with her. Obsessed. So, one of the easiest ways, okay, to spice up an outfit when it's cold outside is with a jacket, because we're hidden under all the bundles, all the layers, all the things. So the jacket, the coat can be the outfit. The quickest way to do that is either going to be with color, texture, or silhouette. Now, unfortunately for us, I'm not into color, but I'm definitely into texture and silhouette. So that's where I'm going to focus. So let me just start here. This jacket is not the quintessential statement piece. It's not bold. It's not popping out at you. But this is really the only color that I have in my coat closet. And it's actually still a neutral. Now, where the statement comes in is in the silhouette. It's huge. It even has these little things here so that I can poke my leg out and move around in the car. But I don't need them because it's huge, okay? So when I put this on, and as you can see, I am all basic here. Black from top to bottom. It's all just a simple knit, simple legging, and my Converse sneakers, okay? You can't get any simpler than that, unless I was wearing a t-shirt. And I put this big, huge green thing on with the hood. Okay? She's saying something. She's saying, oh, she's not afraid. She's got spice. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so it does not take a lot. This is just a simple quilted zipper jacket, coat length. You put it on, it's a little oversized. Instant statement. Let me show you what my other statement coats look like, because those are with texture with a little bit of shape. And it just shows you that even neutrals can make a statement. Hold, please. Both of these are statement jackets. The interesting thing about them, though, is you see that I have them packaged up in garment bags. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. So let's start. Before I pull this out, let's talk a little bit about statements with color, especially for those of you that love color. So if you want to add some boldness, some brightness, some energy to an outfit and to your outerwear, I recommend colors like that royal blue, or that crimson red, or emerald green. Those colors are going to pop, and they are going to give your look such energy and vibrancy that there'll be no missing you, basically. Okay? But on to my first one. This is a short jacket. It looks a little bit like a poodle when you look at it up close. Do you see that texture? You see it. Okay, so this has heft, it has bulk. It also has that texture. So when I walk through, I look soft, but I also look big. I look a little bulky. And if I add accessories to this, like, a nice fuzzy hat or let's say a baseball hat, a fedora, you name it, it's going to elevate it even more. So it really is that simple. Now, if I were into color and this texture with one of those colors I mentioned, like that blue, that red, that green, oh my goodness, they're going to see you coming from outer space. Statement. Okay, so let me show you the next one. The next one was a gift from my husband last year for Valentine's Day, and I call it my fur baby. Okay, darlings, I'm sashaying in. You see her. Ooh, my fur baby from the back, from the side. Mm, purr. And from the front, you see it. She's a bad bama jamma. This is giving me the old, if you're like me, 50 and up, the old Falcon Crest, the old Dynasty. That's what it's giving, luxury. Okay? And that's how I feel when I'm in it. And that's how a statement coat or jacket should make you feel. Because once you put it on and you have that confidence, you move differently. So when you walk into the room, you're giving confidence. You're giving, I'm empowered. You're giving, don't mess with me because I'm feeling good today. You don't want me to be on the bad side. The silhouette makes all the difference. Now, if you really want to go bold, you can go with unique shapes, right? Things with exaggerated sleeves, exaggerated shoulders, or you can have high low, right? Or you can have them where one side is higher than the other. There's so many different ways that you can go about it, and it's all about what you feel comfortable in. Now, how do you decide what you should be wearing as far as your bold statement outerwear? Well, I say look to the layers that you just wear normally. So if you're into bold colors in your clothing, then you're more likely than not, you're going to go for bold colors in your outerwear, right? It's all about your style, and your style carries from top to bottom, from the first layer to the outer layer. So that's how you choose. If you're into florals, if you're into plaids, if you're into that style, that's the direction you're likely going to go into. Me, I'm a minimalist and I like black. I like creams, I like browns, I like grays. I like the neutrals. Okay? So my thing is going to be wearing neutral colors but highlighted and just amped up with texture. Okay? Okay, so now let's talk about how do you style up a statement coat. It's not as complicated as you think. Let's say this, right? When you put on a statement coat, you want the coat to speak. So the preference, and notice I am saying preference, is for you to just keep everything else kind of demure, kind of streamlined, kind of in the cut, and let the coat do the talking. The other thing is when you start to accessorize with scarves, jewelry, hats, gloves, to also make sure that you're aligning it to the type of coat that you're wearing. You don't want to overpower it if you can. You just want them to complement it. And if you're into color, this is where there's a little bit of an exception, right? So I would say if it's color, sometimes you can play with other bold colors. And by that, I mean this. Let's say that you want to color block. Let's say I'm wearing a nice bright green, emerald green long coat. It's tailored, it's nice. The color pops, but it has that structure where it still looks very seamless, very modern, very classic. But then I want it to pop, and I take a nice fuchsia scarf, and that creates a color block that complements the green of the coat, because those two colors play together, and they play together very nicely. So you can do that, or you can do tone on tone. It's really up to you, your personality, and your style. And at the end of the day, these are tips, right? You can do whatever you want. I wouldn't recommend you run around naked, but you can do whatever you want as far as your outerwear. All right? So let's move on. Let's go to how we organize all this stuff, especially for those of us that are space delimited. Okay, so I want to grab my notes. The glasses are back on because I don't want to lose any of these great tips. Here's what you want to make sure you're doing. If you have limited space, you want to rotate out your outerwear seasonally, okay? So we're now at fall going into winter. So if you have the lighter stuff, that may be things that you wear in spring or early fall. You may want to take those and move those to another closet that's not where you typically access your outerwear. My outerwear is at the front of the house, right? Right as you come in, right before we leave, and right as we come home. That way we can get to them very easily. And everything in these closets are things that are favorites and things that we actually wear. Now, I haven't had the need to rotate out things seasonally because I just did a massive declutter. If you haven't seen that series, what are you waiting for? Hit up the playlist. What happens when you do a closet clean out and declutter? You get to the things that you need that you wear often. So everything in there is stuff that I will pull for and wear this season. Okay? So that is tip number one. Tip number two, you want to use slim hangers if you can. What that does is it allows you more storage, right? Because you don't have the bulk of the thicker hangers. Now, as you look at my closet, you're going to see that I have thick hangers, and that's because I have big people in my home. So I have people that are 6'5" and up, and I have people that are 220 and up. Pounds I'm talking about. So that means that they have big, heavy jackets. So that requires something strong to hold up those jackets, right? My coats don't need that, but I also don't want to have mismatched hangers. How gauche. Okay, so we need to match them all. Generally speaking, if you're in a home where you can do this, I would say those nice velvet hangers, they're super strong, super sturdy. They can hold a good amount of weight. Chef's kiss. Hanging hooks for accessories. So you've got the scarves, you've got the gloves, you've got the hats, all the thingies that you use just to make your outerwear feel like it's home. Those are things that need to be hung or they need to be placed in bins. You'll see that I have those nice little boxes. Those are for my beanies, those are for the scarves, the gloves, etc. If you don't have that type of storage, hanging will work as well, whether it's on the side of the closet or on the back of the door, hanging over the door, right? Those types of things. And I'm throwing up examples of these as I'm talking to you. Those are great. Now, I also have shelves on the top and shelves on the bottom, and I utilize those to the fullest, right? The shelves on the bottom are for the shoes hubby wears on a regular so that he doesn't have to go looking. They have a home, he puts on his coat, he sits here, he puts on his shoes, and he is out the door. Next up is maximizing the vertical space. So we have these things that you have on Amazon, TikTok, all the places where you can have multiple hanging that it just kind of takes off and it goes vertical. Those are great space savers. Or even the vacuum sealed bags where it can just, you can put a jacket in there, squish it down, and it just frees up a lot of space. Anything that can maximize storage is worth it. Okay? So that's all about how to organize, some tips, some hacks that you can do in order to get more space in your closet. Okay, guys, so we're outside. It's raining, it's sleeting, it's snowing, it's sunny. All this weather stuff is coming on your outerwear, okay? Then you come in, and what do? You hang up your coat and you put it in a closet and you close the door. So that means your outerwear is in the closet. It's with the other coats. It's hugging them. They're in there. They're vibing. They're chatting, right? And just like in the club, if someone's smoking in the club, you walk out, you smell like smoke, even though you are not a smoker. So that means all the coats are in there soaking up all that climate. Or if you're a smoker, they're soaking up the smoke. If you like to spray your fragrance, all the fragrance, right, is marinating in there. All those things together. So what that means is at least at the end of the season or annually, take your coats to be laundered, to be dry cleaned. They have tags in them that'll tell you exactly how to clean them. Take advantage of that and make sure that you are doing your due diligence because it's going to help them to last longer, to smell better, and your closet will appreciate it as well. Okay? Especially if you store other things in there like wet boots, wet shoes, wet sneakers, all the things, they're all in there having a climate change party. Okay? So let's take care of that at least once a year. So you saw me bring out two of my statement coats and they were in garment bags. Okay, those garment bags are there as protection. One is for my fur baby. I definitely want to keep the dust from in the fur. I want to keep the color vibrant. I want to keep it just the way that it is today. I want it to be that creamy white. Okay, I don't want it to get all dusty or from the party. I don't want it to get dull and used up as it's rubbing against all the other coats and they're, doing their jam. All right? So those dust bags are important and you'll know which coats need the dust bags. I also keep it on the black poodle one because of the same reason. It's a type of fur and I don't want the dust getting caught up in the fur. Yes, I can shake it out, but why do that when you can just use a dust bag? That's what it's there for. Okay, so that's the recommendation. That's how you keep your items fresh, keep them clean. And I believe there's one more thing I want to make mention of. Storing leather and storing suede. So those are things that you want to make sure that you're hanging them in a nice low lit space, right? So my closets are, as you can see, pretty average. You don't want them to be squeezed too tight because suede especially will get impressions from being pressed up against other things, and that could damage the suede. Same thing with leather, right? If it's constantly rubbing against something, it could damage the coloring and the texture. So you want it out of direct sunlight because you don't want that to cause fading. So these are all instructions that come with the garments, but I think many times we get a garment, we just toss it on, we wear it, we don't think about the care and the upkeep. Um, and because I think, things are so uh, dispensable these days that we don't really think about making them last. But in this day and age, we have to take the time to think about sustainability, right? Because there's only one planet. Let's do what we can. Okay, guys, so statement outerwear, it's all about color, silhouette, or texture. Okay? And by texture, that can be the texture or it can be pattern. Okay? So those are the things that will bring it home. It's all about your personality, how you want to express yourself, how you want to move in the world that will guide you as to what your selection will be and what you'll feel comfortable in. We also talked about how to organize, tips and tricks to do that. And we also talked about, okay, making sure that we're maintaining our outerwear. Our coats and our jackets, they need that love because they like to party. We like to party. So we need to make sure that everybody's good at the end of the party. All right. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. My schedule for November was aggressive beyond what I really can commit to. So I'm going to be making a change to that. I appreciate that you're here, that you got this far. And please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.